Hey, Rich.
Hey, Michael.
And welcome, everybody, to BitPunch Radio episode 041. Happy Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster Day. We can forget all about Cyberpunk, Total War, Elden Ring. We got the sixth Pixel Remaster out finally. Long delay. Was supposed to have been out, I think, July of last year or something. And then, we'll blame the pandemic on the long release of that. Rich, how you been?
Good. Been well.
Been well, huh? So you got some books on here. We've both started playing Cyberpunk. You
Yes.
you have history with Cyberpunk already. I am coming in fresh. We've got some Pokemon Arceus to talk about, Total War, Infernax, Stardew Valley, Shadow of the Gods, Starsight, Cyberpunk. Let's hit it. Kick us off. What do you want to talk about?
We beat Resident Evil
We
Village.
did. Yes.
We finished our
What a hell of a
on-stream
game.
playthrough of Resident Evil Village. Man, that game is crazy.
Yep. Why does it feel like such a
Uh,
long time ago? When did we finish that?
it
Was
it
that like
feels
the.
like it took us. It somehow feels like it was 3 months ago,
Mm-hmm.
and also that we only played it for like 4 streams when
Right.
really it was like seven or
Yeah,
nine
seven
or
or eight.
something.
Yeah.
Um, it just kind of flew by. Man, that game is fantastic. It starts a little slow, but once it gets into the weird, it kind of stays there, um, and it just kind of settles in and just goes. The last I was, except for that factory part, it just
Mm-hmm.
kind of drags for about a half an hour too long.
Yeah.
Um, but the rest of it, you just moving. It is just moving, Ethan, and you are just moving right through, and it feels real good. It ends in a pretty good way.
Yeah.
Uh, Little like post credit spoiler
Mm-hmm.
of kind of what's maybe to come in that universe. So I'm excited. I am like, I
So it
think
has
I'm a
you
Resident
jazzed
Evil.
for RE9.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I will have to know what that is and play that. Yeah, now. Thank you for that. Um,
Does it
what
make
is,
you does it make you want to go back and check out any other entries in the series?
maybe like that remake of 2 that they released
Mm-hmm.
like a year ago could be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know anything about that. Um, but yeah, man, what a good game. It's kind of surprising how well they took what 7 did and somehow made it a better game, because I thought 7 was a really good game,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of redefined that series
Mm-hmm.
uh, very distinctly, and 8 really did build on that
Yep.
very well.
Yep.
Very well. Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
it did not start well though. Kind of echoing what you said. It kind of had me like, is this the direction that I wanted with this? I don't think so. But then yeah, it was
Yeah.
the getting past like actually the whole marketing bit around it. Like once
Yeah.
we got past that, it really ramped up where she was probably I understand like why she won an award and all that. That's great. She was my least
Oh, yeah. She was
she
by
was
far the
maybe
least favorite
she
character.
was maybe more interesting than Heisenberg as a
Oh,
character
no
herself.
way. No way. Heisenberg's fucking crazy.
I know he's crazy, but just the whole daughter thing and the fact that she's a vampire and it's pretty. I think I think I seen that scene one too many times of like them stringing you up and
Right. Yeah.
so like being spoiled. Like if I didn't have that, it would have probably landed a little harder. Um,
Right. Yeah.
but yeah, no, hell of a game.
Yes.
I wish we would have played that last year, but
Yeah, I'm glad we played it when we did. It had some pretty rough PC issues
mm,
that were fixed once we got to it. Still had some pretty bad issues in the
yeah,
beginning. But A lot of
You
that
had to
was
tweak a lot of your settings just to get that to stream correctly, didn't you?
yeah, it was a little picky as far as the streaming goes, but that's some plate spinning that
Mm-hmm.
that's not necessarily the game's fault. I will say I don't think it's a very well optimized game, but
No.
at this point in time. But
7 wasn't either. I remember loading up the
mm,
settings of 7, and
yeah,
it's like you have like 6 things to tweak, and it's like, oh, okay.
right, yeah, yeah. So yeah, great game. Looking forward to whatever they're gonna do with that, in the next couple years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I I'm into that series now, for sure, for sure. Um, Beyond that, decided to restart Cyberpunk 2077. I actually restarted it about 2 weeks ago, kind of right after we recorded the last podcast, and I think about 3 days after I started it, they released a big patch
Mm-hmm.
and launched the Series X and PS5 like upgrades for the next gen. So now those games will run at 4K 30 with ray tracing, and kind of brought some more of the ray tracing stuff to those versions, those next gen versions,
Yeah.
and made some updates to PC as well. Man, that game runs a lot better than it did before. Um, I had not played it on PC since I'd kind of started that game initially on Stadia at launch, because oddly enough, that's the place that it
Mm-hmm.
ran the best.
Yeah.
It was still all the bugs were still there, but the performance of the game was a little better on Stadia. And I probably got 14 hours, 15 hours into the game,
Oh, okay.
um,
Wow.
on Stadia. Now, not doing a lot of side stuff, um, but I got a decent chunk into the game on Stadia, and then basically like the bugs just got so bad that I just decided to put it down, and that I would come back to it at a later time.
Yeah.
On then I bought a PC, so I was like, well, I'll get back to this someday. I'm gonna play this game at some point once it's in a little better state. And I had done a little research; it looked like it was in pretty good shape, and then they released this patch, so now it's even in better shape. So I'm digging it. I'm not quite back to where I was in the story, but I have kind of finished what I would call like the opening, uh, like prologue of that game. The
Mm-hmm.
first 4 or 5 hours of the game, the kind of first main mission you're building toward.
Yeah. What'd you say
I
before
finished
you
that.
make it to the title card? Right.
Yeah, I'm like one mission beyond the title card now.
Okay.
There's a late title card and some things happen, and
Phew. Yeah.
I'm like 1 or 2 missions beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot how much I liked that game.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot how much I liked the characters and just the overall style of it, and kind of just its general vibe. I forgot how much I liked it. Um, I'm enjoying all the RPG parts of it. Specking my guy out to
I'm
be a
freezing up
sneaky
on that right now.
net hacker guy. So
I have like 8 unspent skill points and the whatever, because you have 2 different like currency of points. You've got the main ones, and then you can like dive in and like start assigning
perks, yeah,
thank you. Yeah. So I've got like, I have so many. I'm just banking them right now cuz I feel like at some point I need to sit down and just study that because
right,
there's like 6 different tiers, and then as you dive into each one of those tiers, there could be multiple lanes of perks that you can assign. And so I think at first I was just going for like increasing some of the stuff with hacking, but I just think like I need to go explore all those other avenues and make sure I'm not missing out on something that is like a duh. Like I should definitely have this.
right.
A lot of the hacking, I don't feel like I'm getting a lot out of it. Um, there's the thing where you can blind people, and sometimes that takes like all of my RAM, and it takes like maybe a quarter of their health. I don't know. I'm having more fun just assault rifle right now. I'm trying to
Yeah,
use it because I know the
uh,
more you use it, the more you get out of it.
right.
Um,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
it's it's kind of rough at the beginning.
The quick hacking in that stuff is rough in the beginning. You really have to kind of slog your way through it and kind of grind it a little bit. Because eventually, if you do enough side stuff, you'll be able to buy a better cyber deck, which will give you like right now I have like 12 RAM.
Mm.
So and then as you're upgrading in those perks and quick hacking, it'll be like once you breach protocol, all your quick hacks take, 2 less RAM.
Oh,
So like
okay.
if you can sneak in and breach protocol a whole group, Synapse Burnout or like some of those other like the short circuit, the ones that do a lot of damage, those
Sure.
might be 3 RAM instead of 6 RAM. And then
Oh.
you can get perks to if you kill somebody with a quick hack, you get 1 RAM slot back immediately. Or
Mm.
if you kill somebody, it drops the cooldown by 50% on all of your quick hacks. So you kind of get into this loop once you've upgraded it enough. Like you can come in, breach protocol them. If you're successful at that, you can short circuit one of them, kill that person, and then already because of those perks have enough RAM to do it to another person.
Mm.
And it's kind of pausing time while all this is happening. So you're kind of building up all these quick hacks and kind of emptying your RAM out. And then by the time you kind of let go, it like 3 people are dead. You've gotten like 4 RAM slots back. You start shooting or you start like I like to hack the cameras
Mm-hmm.
and then use the cameras to apply those hacks. And they never even know I'm there. I'm just looking at them through cameras, and you can cycle through all the cameras.
Right.
And so a lot of times what I do is I'll just do that. I'll just go in and start quick hacking them, and all their buddies are just looking around like, what happened to that guy? And then I'll clear out the whole building with the cameras, and then by the time I set foot inside, they're all dead,
Wow.
and I never have to shoot anybody.
I was running around and V kept catching on fire. I wasn't understand why that was happening.
You're probably getting hacked by a netrunner. Yeah,
Okay.
there are other enemies called netrunners that kind of have your
Ah,
abilities, and you kind of have to be careful when you're hacking because if you don't kill somebody, they will find you. They will reveal your position
gotcha.
if you're
Okay.
if you're trying to sneak. Yeah, and the netrunners can do that a little quicker
Okay.
than the base enemies.
It didn't make sense to me because I was like, I don't know. It was
Yeah, they
happening at random. It seemed.
yeah they will apply that like overload, and you'll like be on fire. And
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, so I'm enjoying that part of it again. I'm kind of min maxing that quick hacking pretty much at
Mm-hmm.
this point, but I'll eventually get into like pistols and stuff like that probably. Uh, I think that game's a pretty fun shooter. It's not it's not the best. It's
No,
not Halo or Destiny, but
it's
it's serviceable.
serviceable.
Um, it's fun. It's fun,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. I mean, what do you think about the story so far? I mean, I don't want to go too. I mean, we can spoil it. It's been out a while. It's been a long
Um.
time.
I mean, I like the direction that it's going. Oh gosh, yeah. Well, how much do we want to go into it here? Like, I hated losing my friend.
Yeah.
That stung. I don't know if there's
Yeah.
some way that they're going to be able to rescue this person. But I was not expecting after. So I'm like maybe 45 minutes after the late title card. And before then, you're kind of just building this relationship with this character named Jackie,
Yep.
and I loved the guy. I thought he was great, and it just like you guys were just like this awesome duo. And he ends up perishing during a mission. Gives you the thing, the little thing that
Yep.
you got to stick in
A
the cyber.
relic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The
And
Keanu.
then some shit happens where you end up back at the place where I'm blanking on the guy's name that gave you the mission at the beginning.
Dex. Yeah.
Dex, yes. Some stuff happens to Dex. Title card happens. You wake up as Keanu Reeves. It's like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Uh
Yep.
so I am just a little bit past that. I am back as V,
Yep.
and I'm in my apartment, and I'm just hanging out with Keanu Reeves.
Yes.
He's looking for a cigarette. I literally
Yep.
stopped playing right at that point. So that's where
Okay.
I'm at.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah, man. That's that's a crazy sequence
Mm-hmm.
from going into that tower, stealing the relic, uh, Jackie not making it.
Yeah.
You got your awesome fucking
Oh,
robot
you see
taxi.
the emperor just get offed by his
Yeah.
by his
son.
Yeah,
Yeah.
by his son.
Yep.
Just
Yep.
like,
And you get
good gosh.
then you get
And
back
then
and
the Dex is just
Dex
like,
pops one in you. It's
yeah,
like, fuck
he
you. And
blames
it's
it
just like,
on
man,
you, and
this is fucking cool. It's like a fucking heist movie. Like
it
it's
it
good. And
it
then
gave me the choice because Dex is like, go to the bathroom, you have blood on your face. It gives me the choice to break the window or
do
the
it.
mirror, and I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I'm gonna keep my cool.
Oh, I broke the mirror.
It gives you the option twice.
Yeah.
So I wash my face, and then it's like, okay, stand back from the or break the mirror, and I'm like, no, I'll keep
Yeah.
my cool. Open the door, just like, man, I
Yeah.
should have broke his fucking mirror, piece of shit. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a
What did
great
you
game.
what decision did you make with Jackie? Where did you send him?
Where did I send him? Oh, in the
When you
car.
Yeah.
I left him in the car.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What'd you do with him?
I sent him back to his parents, back home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there will be a follow-up mission you will get to do
Okay.
with Jackie.
I left him in the car because I
Not
didn't
with
want to believe
Jackie.
he was dead. So I was like, I'll come back to you.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
You rose jacked him.
Yeah, I
Don't
was
go,
just
Jack.
right. Yeah,
His name's Jackie.
like
Don't go,
maybe
Jackie.
I'll kiss him or something. And
Yeah. There was room for him on that freaking door.
I
Come on.
know, right? Ah, man, it's all I want to play right now. Like with everything that's came out, I've got yeah, I want to play Final Fantasy. I want to play Elden Ring. There's stuff, but I kind of want to just play through Cyberpunk. I'm really digging it, and I hate that they had such a botched launch. Because I think there's something pretty cool here, at least so far. It might get into the trappings of just, picking things off, picking icons off a map. But
You're gonna get to that point because now where you are now, like Watson, the other part of the city, the other half of the city's opened up now, whereas it was locked down before.
sure.
So you're gonna have like the whole city opened up. So it will start once you've got a little bit more story stuff to go through before it kind of turns you loose. And yeah, then your phone will just
I'm
ring
okay
for like
with
5
that.
minutes.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I was
Yeah.
looking for something a little more meaty to
Right.
play, and I think that this and Elden Ring will definitely get me through, a good chunk of spring and summer. So,
Yep.
and there'll be all kinds of other stuff sprinkled throughout, but yeah, those are definitely the two games that I'm excited about. It looks so good. I love having a 3070. That 3070 Ti, man, it looks so good. That game is great. It's so pretty to look at. The ray
It's a very
tracing looks
pretty game.
good. The characters look really good. It's great, man.
Yeah, there's been multiple times when I've been playing and I've been like running around the city and I've just like stopped and went, "Fuck,
I know.
This looks good."
Even
man.
being
Like,
out like as a nomad, because I started as a nomad, being out in the desert,
right.
and then you could see Night City kind of in the horizon. It was like,
Yeah,
man, this
Mhm.
game is great.
and like just how much work went into making that.
I know.
There's some of that stuff that is so dense.
Can you imagine like building a city like that?
Yeah, I mean it's pretty crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, it's giving me like when I played Oblivion on the Xbox 360.
Yeah.
And it's like I'd never played a game like that before. And you're just like, man, this is crazy. Like, this is the whole world here.
Have I ever told you my first glimpse at a Elder Scrolls game?
It was Morrowind.
It was Morrowind played on a Xbox 360, and my buddy, was it Morrowind 3? It's Morrowind, right?
Morrowind is 3. Yeah.
Okay, he had this perk where he could jump like super high, and so he jumped, and I swear it was just like load,
Right. Yeah.
load, and I was like, "What are you? Is this fun?" And he's just like, he just loves it so much. He's just so into it, and I was like, "This is not something that I want to play." And then Oblivion came out, and it's like, "Oh shit, I freaking love this." So,
Bananas.
I
Yeah,
never went back. Actually, I have tried to go back and play Morrowind because it's on Game Pass, and it's pretty rough
no,
now.
can't do it. That was a time and place thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah. That's a no go.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I'm
Cyberpunk is
I'm
doing
looking
it,
forward
man. It's
to.
doing it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
I'm jacked in, loving it. I just want to keep playing this game. So
Yep, yep, yep. I'm into it. I'm ready to keep playing it. Um, okay, so books. I finished another book. I have finished 2 books this year. I'm on my way to my 20
nice.
for the year. I finished Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne.
Mm,
Never read one of his books before. He writes a lot of fantasy. He's big into like Norse mythology and Vikings.
mm,
This book is very much that. It's not. I would say it's Norse mythology like inspired. Like there's no Loki or there's
sure.
facsimiles for those things in a way. But man, that book is really good. It is the first book in what he's calling the Blood Sworn trilogy.
Mm,
So the next book actually comes out in April this year. So here in just a month or so, the second book of that trilogy comes out. I would it's one of my favorite books I've read in a long time. Um, it's I think its strength is its character building and the way that he describes battles. There is a
mm,
lot of fighting in this book, um, and just the way that he describes those is very good. Like
mm.
very detailed, very very similar to how the Witcher author kind of. I think those battles are described very well also. Um, but there's just something about the way he does it that's just really good. Um, it's 500 pages, so it's not some crazy Wheel of
Yeah,
Time thing
right.
or Brandon Sanderson deal. Pretty short. I really liked it. I really liked the characters. Really liked um, kind of just everything about it. It's really good, and it kind of ends um, on kind of a cliffhanger.
Mm,
The whole book is you have these. It basically follows the points of view of these 3 characters as they all go kind of on their little journey, their own personal journey. And at the end of that book, a lot of shit happens, and it's crazy, and it's kind of setting up the rest of this series. So I'm pretty excited for that next book to come out. I'm
mm.
going to read that as soon as that releases. Um, so if you're interested in that kind of book, any kind of fantasy, Vikings, Norse mythology, you should give those a try. Or give this book a try. It is very good.
I was
I
very
started.
I was very
Go
close
ahead.
to buying it.
Yeah.
So there are 2 books that I had in front of me that I was like, I want to read Shadow of the Gods, and I want to read this book called Kings of the Wild. So I said, all right, which one's cheaper? And Kings of the Wild was $8. Shadow of the Gods was $10. So I bought Kings of the Wild. I will read it, and I'll probably
Yeah.
try to get through it before the second one comes out. But
I will say, the author John Gwynne is very into like Viking stuff, like I just said, but
mhm.
he like does Viking reenactments, like cosplay or
Oh,
whatever. But there is a lot of Viking language in this book. Uh, I would almost recommend, like, if you have the ability to listen to some of the
mhm.
audiobook, because the way that I'm an idiot, and the way that the words are written are like have O's with like crosses through them, and I have no idea what sound that makes,
Oh, okay.
and like the way they're pronounced, I would have never guessed.
Sure.
So if that's something you care about, you know, with how things are pronounced in books, some people are very particular about that. I would I would look into that before you get started, because
Okay.
there's a lot of like names of places, names of things that
So
have.
did you listen to that book?
So I typically 50/50. So
Okay.
my strategy for finishing books is I will read books early in the morning and at night, and I will listen to books while I'm doing the dishes or while I'm like the kids are playing and I'm, folding laundry or like
Mm-hmm.
doing some menial task that I don't need to, hear my kids or, whatever. I'll throw
Right.
the headphones on, push play. Like I don't have the ability to sit down and read a book for 3 hours.
No, me neither.
At night, at night, if I can knock out 2 or 3 chapters, maybe
It
even
feels
one
like a
before I pass
success.
out, that's success.
Yeah.
So I would say it's probably 50-50. That book I did about 50-50 um, between audio and Kindle. Yeah,
Mm. Okay.
yeah, yep. So highly recommend that book. It's a really good book. I did start Starsight, which is book 2 of Brandon Sanderson's like young adult sci-fi series. I think it's the Cityverse or the Cytoverse.
Cytonic.
Um,
Yeah,
Symphonic,
something
yeah,
like that.
something like that. I started that. I'm maybe like past the first chapter.
Mm.
Um, so I had just finished the first book before I read Shadow of the Gods, so I'm kind of alternating here.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to get back to Starsight because I thought Skyward, the previous book, ended on a kind of the same way Shadow of the Gods did, with this big revelation
Mm-hmm.
of this thing that it's been kind of pushing toward the whole time. So I'm interested to see where that goes. So I plan on finishing that Starsight up before the next Bloodsworn book comes out, and then switching right back off. So let's see here. TV. I really haven't watched any more TV. I still haven't finished the last episode of Book of Boba Fett.
Mm.
I had it spoiled for me,
Oh.
unfortunately, which has kind of demoralized me into not really wanting to watch it,
Mm.
um, which sucks because I was really liking it. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing.
I will I will start with my books then. I finished Read On, which is 2.2 of Cytonic. That is more outside of Spence's story. It's what's going on with the whole overarching government and the alien species that Spencer. Oh, this might be a no. I can't say this. Never mind. It's what ends up happening with Spencer during book 2. Some of the ramifications of it is taking place in these offshoots. So then I started reading Kings of the Wild. I finished that and then I started reading Kings of the Wild. I'm only like 8 or 9% into that book. But it's funny, which is what I was wanting. It's a kind of a Viking style where it's these guys were like a ragtag group in their 20s and they're in their 40s now.
Mm.
And they've got families, but they have a new mission that they got to get the boys back together. And they're talking about like having back pain and stuff as they're trying to like go on this like mission to go search for this guy's daughter. Um it's pretty funny. So I'm going to read that and then try to get through Shadow of the Gods before the next Shadow of the Gods book comes out. I'm not a fast reader. I just tend to
Yeah,
read.
I'm not either. That like piling the audio in the Kindle for me is really the only way I can
Yeah.
really burn through it.
I'm
Yeah.
slow and my mind will wander, so I'll read the same page a couple times over. I can't help it. But I typically read like over a cup of coffee in the morning. Like it's probably terrible for me, but within 15 minutes of waking up, I'm drinking coffee, water, and reading.
Yep.
Um, but um, and then I'll read like if I'm walking on my treadmill or something, which can be a little challenging sometimes. But I don't walk a super fast speed. I'm just casually doing it just to try to burn a little bit because I sit at this desk for way too much of my life. Um, as far as TV goes, Marvelous Miss Maisel season 4 is out. That show is just fantastic. They're doing 2 episodes a week. That's on Amazon. Really, really good. I just love every actor in that show. It's shot like a Broadway play. and there's a lot of the actors like act like they're on a Broadway set.
Huh.
They like overact, but they're doing it on purpose, and it fits. It's a 50s style show, and it fits with the whole motif that they have going. It's it's so good and funny and interesting, and um, definitely recommend that. And then I actually watched the first episode of Cuphead.
Okay, yeah, I haven't watched this yet.
My daughter did not care for it. My son likes it. He's 7. It's very childish. I wasn't
Really? I
expecting that.
I I heard somebody say it was like Ren and Stimpy, but not as adult.
Well, like Ren and Stimpy would do the thing where they like zoom in on like a nasty looking nose or like a pimple on someone's ass. And
Right,
this
yeah.
doesn't do that. It's really like a
Right.
kid's cartoon,
Huh.
which I didn't see Cuphead as being a kid's video game just because of how challenging it is.
Right.
But yeah, it's a kid's cartoon, and it's pretty, and it seems well made. They're short. I think the episode we watched was like 16 minutes.
Oh wow.
Um,
Okay.
but yeah, my son seemed really into it. But again, he's 7, so he's like probably the perfect audience for it.
Favorite childhood cartoon?
The thing that I go back to, I would say Simpsons, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Um, God, what what else did I watch? Kids cartoon. Why am I blanking on this? It was TMNT for sure. That was one I watched a lot of. Simpsons was
Yeah.
like my thing that I watched way too young. Um, most of the jokes were over my head, or it was like pop culture
Right.
references and stuff that I just didn't understand. But I just, 8 o'clock on a Sunday, that's what I was watching. What was yours? Why am I?
Definitely TMNT. I honestly really like Fairly Odd Parents. Um,
See, I
on
didn't
Nickelodeon.
have Nickelodeon. That's
Yeah.
Nickelodeon, right? I didn't have that.
I was probably a little older when I was watching that. Probably like 11 or
Yeah.
12, 13 maybe. That's just a really good show, honestly. Um, but yeah,
I
that
watched
kind
a
of
lot of the
sweet
Cartoon
spot.
Network stuff. I will say that. But I
Okay.
was
Okay.
probably 10, 11. I don't know. I was thinking like elementary school. But I think I got into Ed, and Eddie, Courage the Cowardly Dog,
Yeah.
that dumb era of TV. That's great. Powerpuff
Yeah.
Girls. I didn't watch that, but that kind of style of cartoon. I watched
Yeah,
a lot
those
of
see,
that.
I was more of a Nickelodeon kid at that same exact time, like the Hey Arnolds, the
Mhm.
Dougs, the Ren and Stimpy,
Mhm.
Fairly Odd Parents, Rocket Power. Loved Rocket Power.
See,
Rocket
if I
Power,
didn't
great
have
show.
Disney, I didn't have Nickelodeon. So
Yeah, I was not into the Disney stuff.
I wasn't either.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hmm.
And I think it was Toonami got me into Dragon Ball.
Okay.
Man,
Yeah.
I hate to say this, but I sold some video games to get some Dragon Ball Z DVDs.
Oh
I
boy.
was in it, boy. I never had the shirts. I never had the button up shirts, with Super
Yeah.
Saiyan Goku on it, but I definitely probably sold some nice Super Nintendo games to get a a DVD of the Cell Saga or something. Not proud of that, but that happened. um Gosh, what other TV shows like as a kid? I think I was watching more um live action stuff. I was enjoying like Power
Yeah. Like
Rangers,
Power Rangers.
but
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just I'm blanking on like cuz I didn't get into like the Marvel stuff. I didn't get into like the X-Men cartoon or
Nope.
the
Me
old
neither.
Spider-Man cartoon or any of that old Batman stuff. Um no, all that flew over my radar. I wasn't into superheroes at all. I was just
Yeah, I
strictly
wouldn't. I really wasn't either.
just
Yeah.
strictly into video games, honestly. So
Yeah. Hmm.
Um, but no, Cuphead seems well made. I'm sure I will catch glimpses of that as my son is watching it. Um, so as far as video games, let's start with we kind of went over Cyberpunk. I finished Pokemon.
Mm.
Credits rolled on Arceus. The last Pokemon game I finished outside of Pokemon Snap would probably have been one of the Game Boy Advance ones. I would say like Ruby, maybe. That may be
Mm.
the last Pokemon game I actually finished.
Okay.
I didn't get into any of the DS ones.
Oh, really?
We have
Wow.
Sword. I played like Black, but I didn't
Mm.
finish it. I only got so far and I burned out. Um, I we have Sword. I played it for a while and burned out. This one is really good. This was a very fun Pokemon game. Um, I probably easily put 20 plus hours into it. And then credits roll, and I just have this bad thing of as soon as I see credits, I'm like, well, on to the next one.
Right.
And, but it's not, you still have a whole Pokedex you could fill out. And then it actually gives you a whole slew of new missions to do. And you've got I don't know, the Yakuza thing or probably the Cyberpunk thing where it's like, okay, all the side stuff that you missed from is still available. You can go do that. And so
Right.
my son and he's kind of picking it up and playing with it. He was pretty upset with me that I finished it without him. Uh, which rightfully so. I shouldn't have done that. But now he's like enjoying, having all these superpowered Pokemon to just kind of run around and fuck shit up with. Surprisingly, I'm surprised how good that game is. Like looks aside, it looks like crap.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
The core, the fun element of that game of just like sneaking up on Pokemon and battling them, and just randomly catching them, seeing like a frenzied Pokemon and fighting it. The boss fights were dumb. It would be like you need to dodge and then like hit them a bunch with these like seeds or whatever to wear them down, and then you can find them. Like that whole, it was whatever. I didn't really need that.
Right.
But the open worldness of a Pokemon game, I just want them to do this going forward, and I will continue to play them until I burn out on it. It was really, really, really fun.
Huh.
I definitely recommend this. I don't know if I recommend it to you. You got plenty of stuff that's probably better. Uh,
I just think I don't think I can do another one
it's so
after
different,
having played as many as I've played.
right?
I just I, I just don't care about it anymore.
I would just tell you, if you know enough about it and you don't care, fine. If you don't,
Yeah.
watch somebody play on Twitch. See if
Yeah, maybe I'll do that.
see
Yeah.
if maybe that would, and then it's like, okay, that actually looks fun. I had a great time with it, and I'll play the next one when it comes out. But yeah, it was really good. Um, boy, my wife and I fell deep into Stardew Valley again.
Oh
Um,
boy.
yeah, we are wrapping up summer year one. Playing it on the Switch. It is on Game Pass, but we like the ability to just lay in bed next to each other and play on a Switch.
Yep.
Yep, that game is incredible. Like I say all the time. I started Total War Warhammer 3. I got a little bit through the prologue. We were going to stream that Sunday, but I got fed up with it and uninstalled it. I have not reinstalled it. I seen a news article that they have a patch coming out fairly soon that's going to fix some of the performance stuff, but I would save it, and when I'd go back to it, I couldn't progress to the next step. So that is like a civilization style game where it's like you do some stuff and then you kind of like, I'm ending my turn here,
Right.
and I couldn't ever end my turn. It was always just
Mm.
stuck on like, you should do this fight, and it's like, well, I've done the fight already, I can't do the fight again. It's just broken. That is the Game Pass version. No idea if the Steam version is any different. But I did uninstall it. So once that new patch releases, I'm going to reinstall it. And I want to play it, but
Yeah, it seems like they have some problems with the DRM, the de novo
Okay.
or de novo, which is that software has been a problem before because
Oh
I've
yeah.
heard that name.
A lot of fighting
But yeah,
games like have issues with it. Seems
y-
like.
yeah. I think it's still sitting as like mixed on Steam.
Yeah.
Quite a few people having problems with
Yeah.
it. Um, man, that's
And
a
you know,
pretty
if
big
you listen
bummer.
to any of our previous shows, like I talk, like I'm pretty excited about it, but now it's like I'm fine. I might wait for a while until,
Yeah,
like, if
yeah,
I've got this and Kirby coming out, Elden Ring, if that's a thing I'm gonna actually try to give a shit about, like I'm fine to wait until they hammer out some of these other issues before I try to dive into it. But hey, what I've seen so far seems pretty well made. The actual character himself looked really low res, which was kind of strange. Like when
mm,
you get into fights, um, everything looks fine because you're kind of high level, but there's scenes where like it kind of looks like you right now, like you're kind of zoomed in on your character, and he looked really
right.
bad, and it was just
Huh.
shocking because that game actually looks pretty incredible from a
Isometric kind of
yes, a
view.
more
Yeah,
pulled back camera.
yeah.
Um, I will give that a shot again at some point. And then I've kind of dabbled with this game that's on Game Pass now called Infernax. Infernax, I guess. It's a
Yeah, in
Castlevania
Infernax.
2 style game. Real old school. You just have a big map and you're exploring, leveling up your character. It's one of those kind of Axiom Verge style games. The thing that sets this one apart a little bit is it does pull from like old school Castlevania, and it's brutal. Brutal
Yeah.
as in it's difficult, but brutal also as in it is like Quentin Tarantino style, like fountains of blood is
It's
pouring out
not
of
for the
these.
children.
No, when you like walk onto like a new screen, there might be a villager there that's like fighting off a zombie, but you see the zombie just like stab the guy and like rip his head off, and blood is just gushing, and it's like holy shit. So I think like it's humorous, and they're doing it in a lighthearted way just to be funny about it. Um, I'm currently lost in that game. I have no idea what I'm
Oh,
supposed to do next. Castlevania 2 is known for being a game that you just get lost in, and there's a moment where you're actually supposed to go towards the edge of a screen, crouch down for like 11 seconds, and it opens up the next area for you to go to. I think it has one of those weird moments where you just kind of have to fuck with it, and I don't want to fuck with it. It was fun while I played it. I know what it's going for, but I think I'm good with it. Like
yeah.
I honestly, I tried looking it up and I haven't seen the answer to it yet. So I'm just dumb. I just don't know how to get to it. So, um, I don't know how much longer I will play with that, especially with how much I'm liking Cyberpunk. But we will see. That is it for me. Let's talk about some news.
Let, let's let's talk about Elden Ring a little bit here.
Okay.
The
Actually, I don't have
reviews.
that pulled up. I don't think. I don't know.
Okay. Um, today is the 23rd. I think that game comes out the 25th, which is Friday.
It probably has like an
Um,
early access window for people.
yeah, the reviews started hitting today, and Twitter and all the places for those types of things has been just uh, a flood with Elden Ring stuff.
Yeah.
I've seen it's kind of in a way that I haven't seen before. Um, like all of the like the media buildup is like almost kind of turning me off a
Mm.
little bit. I was honestly kind of from what I had seen of like the beta that they had or like that test that they had like a few months ago. I was like, I'm gonna give this a shot at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I've not played one of their games before.
You neither.
Um, I tried to play one and just didn't really give it a fair shot, to be honest. And it just never went back. But the the reviews have hit today, like on all the major sites, and I'm just gonna go through some of this with you.
Okay.
So the GameSpot.com review is titled, the header title is called Elden Ring Review in Progress dash Death of the Wild.
Okay.
So
Death of the Wild? Okay.
yeah, so that went through a name generator.
Yeah, sure.
Um, and so that's like immediately like, God, like what are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
And then their next, like on their carousel, you know, at the top of their website, the next story is Elden Ring. Can you pause? And I was like, I'm just like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And then IGN, they obviously have it at the top, and there's our playing Elden Ring in co-op is much easier than we thought. That is somehow a header for the biggest video game website on the planet, uh, a title header for an article. It's easier than we thought. Okay. Um, the Polygon front page is Elden Ring is From Software's best, most approachable, and difficult game yet.
Mm.
Okay. Um,
If it's the
then the
most
next,
difficult, then
yes,
I'd probably don't want to play this game.
and then the next article is opinion. Even Dark Souls skeptics should try Elden Ring.
Who's
Right.
a Dark Souls skeptic that wouldn't
I,
try this?
I and then on Twitter I saw a person who I'm not going to name. Not that anybody listens to this anyway. Um, they basically said, Elden Ring is the greatest game that I've ever played, but you probably won't like it. Like that's what they said to their Twitter audience. Like that was a tweet. Elden Ring is the best game I've ever played, but you probably won't like it.
Why wouldn't I like it?
And I'm just like, this is I mean, that those games, the From Software games have a very like cult following.
Sure.
And it is kind of in
Hold
my
on.
head
Hold
hit.
on. What a pretentious thing to say about something you had nothing to do about. You know?
Ah, yeah, yeah,
That's
um,
strange.
yeah, yeah. Um, I yeah, I've seen multiple people basically say that same thing. Like, I gave this a 10, like one of the people that reviewed it. I gave this a 10, but you're probably not gonna like it, you know. And you know, the way it hits me is I have some like very uh hipster music friends who will like latch on to bands very early on,
Mm-hmm.
and then those bands become big. So like I've had friends that have like latched on to like huge bands, but they latched onto them when they were like really little.
Sure.
And it's like they'll bring me this stuff and be like, you should listen to this, and then I'll listen to it. And then it's like I'll be like, yeah, man, that's actually really good. I'm gonna listen to that. And like they're almost mad that like I'm listening to it and that I liked it. But like they brought it to me. But
Right.
they don't want me to like it because like they want to be like the hipster, like cool, like I'm in on this early, like I'm allowed to like this, but you can't like this because then
Right.
if they get too big, then they're just gonna suck and they're gonna make this mainstream stuff. And I feel like that's the way this is going. Like I was almost waiting to see like how this game reviewed to see if people like review bombing this, being like, "Oh, From Software sold out and they made this game for everybody else, and it's not
Mm-hmm.
hard enough." And I don't, you know what I mean? Like they
Sure.
mainstreamed it, which doesn't seem like they did, but that's the vibe that I've gotten today. Is like it just I don't know how else to describe it. It's just
Mm-hmm.
very 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 weird, very very weird from the media coverage
I've seen.
standpoint.
So I think you and I tried the same game, and we both probably stopped around the same spot. We didn't give it. We didn't get into it. We kind of like spent an hour or two with it, and then kind of like, I'm not really feeling this. But I've seen that this is an approachable game. I want to try it.
I mean, I have read an article that says that it is, and then I've read tweets that says it absolutely is not.
Yeah, then I have
So
no
I
idea.
kind of don't know. Like I don't know where to go
Hmm.
is like as far as that
I
stuff
might
goes.
just play Cyberpunk for a while and then see what happens. But
I still want to play it. Like I I think there's a version of that type of game that I would like.
yeah,
Um, you know, I think those early games where that you would pick up like a lot of those games you'd pick up items and it like wouldn't tell you what it did. And then like you'd have to like go to the internet and go, what does this thing do? Because it doesn't say, oh, you picked up this herb and it gives you +2 stamina, but it takes away 70 strength or something.
sure.
Like people that was part of the appeal of those early games is like the hive mind of the gamer internet figuring out like what all this stuff does. And I think they have kind of rolled some of that back throughout all the different releases.
Hmm.
And that's kind of why I was kind of waiting to play it because I have no problem. Like I am going to open a guide and play that game with the guide open because I don't want to just wander around,
No. Yeah, I
trying
seen
to figure
some.
out what the thing is that I'm supposed to do. You
I
know.
seen someone said like you'll want a notebook to play this game, and it's like it sounds like I just don't want to play this game
Yeah.
because
And
there's
I don't dislike hard games. Like
I do.
I want to play it. It looks like a cool game.
Yeah.
Um, like it seems now that it's out and here in the last couple of weeks, maybe the George R. R. Martin parts of that are kind of maybe overstated a little bit.
Mm.
Shocker. But I don't know. It's just this kind of gaming media and like gaming fervor, uh, personalities and Twitter has just kind of turned me off on it a little bit. I
Mm.
I don't know. I don't know. It's a little weird.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm not like I want to play it, but it's also just like I've got plenty of other things to spend my time on. So maybe I'll play it over the summer or something, or
Yeah.
maybe I'll change my
Yeah.
mind and buy it next week. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I just know I just want to keep playing Cyberpunk. So until I burn out on
Right.
that and I'm looking for something else, then maybe
Yeah.
is when I'll
Yeah.
give it a shot. But
Yeah. I mean, and Horizon Forbidden West came out last week or this week here very recently. I liked that first game.
yeah,
And I kind of watched the reviews of those. That game kind of hit, kind of like I don't have a PS5, so I'm not going to play that anytime soon.
mm,
Just because I kind of read the coverage and read what people were saying, and a lot of the reviews with it being a Sony first party game, were very high. And then I listened to Vinny and I listened to, um, Arthur Geese basically say, well, I'm 8 hours in and I made it to the open world part. And I'm just like, wait, what?
I know, right?
Yeah. And they're just kind of like, yeah, this first 8 hours is not so great. And
I
it's like,
think
no,
I
I'm
think
gonna
I
play
seen
it.
Mary Kish. She probably regretted tweeting this, but she said you could finish Resident Evil 8
Yeah,
in
I
the
sent this
time
to you.
it takes to finish or to get into the open world part of Horizon. And it's
Yeah, I,
like,
I
oh
I read
boy.
that and I went gross, and then I sent it to you on Discord
Yeah.
because, and then I mean that seems to check out because I heard Vinny and Brad and Alex at Nextlander saying the same thing.
Yep.
Like, yeah, the beginning of this game is just kind of okay, and it kind of slogs a little bit. Um, it seems like that game's not hitting as well as that first game did.
Mhm.
So, um,
Just seems like it's more of
yeah,
that.
yeah, it's very similar. It sounds like, and I liked that first game, but it wasn't anything revolutionary. It was
Mhm.
pretty, had good writing, had good voice acting. I mean, as you notice, God of War is not on my games list. I think I'm going back to that game. Um, I don't know. I don't know. So
Right.
it's been
You're close
an
with that one.
interesting. Yeah, I'm 14 hours in. I think it's a 20-hour game.
Yeah.
I've lost like the will to. I don't care It hasn't.
Right.
It's done a bad job of making me care about getting the ashes to the top of the fucking mountain. I've
Mm-hmm.
been to the top of that mountain like twice now.
Right. Yep.
I just want to make it happen. Um, and it feels like I'm a long way from that
Could
happening.
you just set on easy and just burn through it?
Yeah, I
I'm
could.
honestly like,
I probably
yes, you
should.
could, but do you care?
I'd like to see what happens, but
Yeah.
I already know that the kid doesn't die. And Kratos isn't going to die. They're making another game. I don't
Sure.
care enough about. I, I mean, I know that Baldur is Freya's son.
Yep.
I'm assuming we're gonna kill Baldur. I'm assuming Freya's gonna be pissed off about that. Like, I don't care about. I care about the head. I care about the two little troll men, and then that's the only other people in that universe.
Sure. Yeah. That's it.
So, uh, I don't
Right.
know. I just.
Like, is it worth spending 6 hours of your time, or is it worth just pulling up the Wikipedia and reading?
I mean, I really like the writing in that game,
Mm-hmm.
like the way the lines are written, but the story itself, I think, is very just okay.
Right.
I would like to see how they. I guess I would like to see how they handled the writing of it, and kind of how those characters react to however that game ends.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see
Right.
if I go back to that. But okay, let's talk about the news.
News, news, news. Call of Duty is skipping a year, not this year, but next year. So Treyarch's game that they were supposed to release in 2023 will not release until 2024. I haven't played a
So
Call of Duty in a long
we
time.
established on the last episode that you did not play Call of Duty 2019
Right.
Modern Warfare.
I have not. I'm such a
I mean,
doofus that I was trying to look on Steam for it, not even realizing it's in its own store.
did you like Call of Duty 4?
Oh yeah,
Like
loved
that
it.
Captain Price,
Yeah,
Ghost,
that was the game that turned me on to shooters. I didn't really play
Oh
shooters
man,
until then.
you have to stop what you're doing and go play that fucking game, Michael. You have to go play it. It's only like 8 hours long, 7 hours long. It's fantastic. Fantastic. It's the best first person shooter campaign since that game. Like since maybe a Halo game. It's good. It's that good. It's that good.
I've heard
It's got
Titanfall
Captain
2
Price in it.
has a really good story.
True, true. But Captain Price, it's doing the thing that at least I like about those games. It's not
Yeah,
Black Ops, not all the weird number station bullshit. It's Captain Price and
just being a badass.
that stuff. Yep, that mustache. Let's go. Yeah, it's good, man. It's really good. You have to play that game.
All right.
Have to. Have to.
I'll
Yeah,
like
how are they
watch.
not going to release? How are they not going to release a Call of Duty game
I don't know.
in a year?
And
I
especially
thought
like at
I'd.
this point, it's gonna be like, it's fucking Microsoft's problem. Like we can make this decision now because
Guys figure this shit out.
we still have control. But after this point, like, who cares?
Right. When is the next? I had seen a news story about like the next. What is the battle royale called now?
Warzone.
Warzone. I had seen something about like the next Call of Duty and the next Warzone were gonna be released in like 2024 or 2020. Maybe it's this year.
I thought that was this year. I thought Warzone.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is.
Yeah.
It
So
just seems like it because it's been out for 2 years.
Infinity Ward will develop a follow up to Call of Duty Warzone that is supposed to launch sometime in 2022. So that'll be
Okay.
the release this year. Next year, you ain't getting shit. The year after, you'll get whatever Treyarch is working on. So Sledgehammer did Vanguard. Treyarch does the Black Ops series. So they're saying the new Black Ops will be a game released in 2024. Crazy. Which they're still making tons of money off Warzone, so it's fine. But they're not going to get that big drip of a new Call of Duty, which is something that, according to this, hasn't happened since 2000. Where did
18 years.
Yeah, 2000. Oh boy,
2003. It
No,
was
that's
Call of
when
Duty
it's
2.
debuted.
Okay.
Um, whenever Call of Duty 4 came out, I think that was that one where it started.
Or Call of Duty 3. Yeah, because I think 3 came out and then 4 came out right after that.
Oh,
So,
okay, yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Did you play 3?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yep.
No, um I bought a PlayStation 3. I actually started Call of Duty on a PS3. And I remember I was playing it by myself. I didn't know anyone else was a PS3. Me and you may have played that a little bit.
No.
But a friend of
Nope.
no, but a friend of
Nope.
mine had an Xbox, and I ended up also getting an Xbox. And then, man, I played the shit out of that game. I worked third shift, and I would play for like 2 or 3 hours after work, just watching the sun come up. Just oh man, just played so much of it. I would never say like I was really good at it. I was pretty decent.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good people out there that play video games. I would say I was middling, but man, I had a good time with it. And then it's been such a long time. Like we streamed some Cyberpunk on Sunday, like watching me fumble with keyboard and mouse on a shooter. It's just like, boy, I'm
Oh
rusty.
boy.
I am rusty. Yeah, that's I think that's interesting. I haven't played a Call of Duty in a while, but the fact that they're breaking tradition that's pretty big news. You know, that's a lot of money
Yeah.
that they're going to be missing out on. So,
Yep. That's a big deal.
Guardians of the Galaxy did not meet Square Enix's expectations. So this is an article I'm reading here on GameSpot.com. They're reporting that they were not happy with how this game, I guess it projected under their expectations. And the problem with this is it was a lot of Game of the Year. It seemed like it sold really well, but Square Enix does not like Western published games. They always would poo-poo over the Tomb Raider sales, even though those games like sold really well. Even
Yep.
Hitman, when it was under them for a little bit, they were complaining about sales, even though, you know, a lot of people were giving Hitman like the game of the year or whatever. Not that that necessarily means that it's selling well, but it's definitely getting enough attention that they should feel proud about it. But they
Right.
just, at the end of the day, are looking at numbers. They didn't make as much money as they wanted to. I'm sure that was actually an expensive game to make.
Right.
Licensing deal, like all those assets being created, all that stuff. I'm sure it costs a lot of money. But yeah, it's not shocking to see that they're upset about that, but still, kind of sucks.
Yeah, I bet that game has a long tail though. I bet that game sells well throughout like the next year or two.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. I still need to go back and finish it. I wish I had it on PC. It didn't perform that well on my Xbox One.
Yeah.
Shocking, but yeah. Yeah, I would like to. I think I'm on chapter 11. There's like 17 chapters, so I'm more than halfway done with it. But just not on a console I play much anymore, and I'm kind of spoiled with this computer. So, so I brought in another news article here. I don't know when this news article came out, but they're making a Fallout TV show, and they're casting Walter Goggins, which I love. Walter Goggins. I think he's an incredible actor.
Yeah, he's good.
And I knew that there was a lot of stuff coming out. You know, the Uncharted movie. It's like out now. I think you could go and watch Uncharted if you wanted to. I watched that Arcane series. That was good. I finished the Castlevania series. Incredible anime. Cuphead just came out. There's a lot of stuff. You know, watch that
Halo,
Mortal Kombat.
Halo will be out.
Halo comes out next month.
In a month, yeah.
There's, like I said, the Uncharted movie. The Mortal Kombat movie was actually fun. It wasn't like a blockbuster or anything, but it was still fun to watch. And it's like, there's a lot of stuff coming out here. So I found this article on IGN, and they've got everything that's kind of listed out. And I thought there was some stuff on here that I wanted to kind of cover. So these are video game movies in 2022 and beyond. So I'm just going to go through this list, and you stop me if you have a comment about one. Uncharted is out. Sonic the Hedgehog's coming out in April. Mario coming out in December. Minecraft the movie. Tomb Raider 2. Pokemon Detective Pikachu 2. I thought that first one was okay.
Yeah.
Borderlands. I will say any of the ones that I go through from here on out does not have a date.
Right.
Borderlands,
Yeah.
I do know that Jack Black is a part of that.
Of course he is.
BioShock movie could be fun if they do it right.
How do you? That's a movie about creepy robots and little girls, and sucking the life out of them to use it for powers.
Have you seen TV lately? It's pretty fucked up.
No,
they can get away with some pretty crazy shit. Yeah, and actually the BioShock movie that was making headlines just like last week. I think there was some new stuff being released about that, or a studio is actually running with it now. There's going to be a Yakuza movie. I have no idea how that would even work. Mega Man, Beyond Good and Evil. Who gives a... Is that a franchise? Like, who cares about Beyond Good and Evil anymore?
Is that even a video game?
No idea.
Who could say?
Metal Gear Solid. Not sure if I'd want to watch that as a movie. Just Cause. Again, not sure I'd really want to watch that as a movie. Gears of War. Nah, no thank you. Call of Duty. I've seen enough war movies.
Mm-hmm.
Half-Life, that'll never happen. Portal, again, that'll never happen. Firewatch.
Okay. That could, there's something there.
I know.
There's something right there.
I pulled this up, Rich, and as soon as I seen that, I was like, okay. I can see that.
Henry? Who plays Henry?
You get the guy.
Yeah.
You get the voice actor to do it. He is Henry in my head. Yeah. It's him.
Yeah. There's something there.
I know.
There's definitely something there.
That could be a fun one.
That could be a good movie, or even a TV show.
These are movies. We'll get into TV shows here in a bit. The Division.
No, don't care.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
I barely know what that is.
Yeah. Just Dance. I mean, we know what that is. And I'm sure that would do just fine. And then Dragon's Lair. Who cares? What audience are you targeting for a Dragon's Lair movie in 2022 or 23? Who gives a shit about Dragon's Lair anymore? All right, so the rest of this list is TV shows coming in 2022 and beyond. We got the Cuphead show that released this week. Halo, Paramount Plus, that'll be hopefully good. Hey, it already got renewed for a second season. But so did Wheel of Time, and
have you finished that?
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, dude. But when you tell me it's just not that good, it makes it hard to go back and watch it.
Listen to me. That it is a train wreck. I mean, you have it's so amazing how bad that last episode is that you have to watch it.
I don't know, man.
It's so bad. So bad. You and I, I've never read those books. We could have put together a better fucking last episode than that. Like, I don't even know how that happened.
Could I just watch the last episode?
No, you have to watch the second to last episode because it's actually really good. And
could I do that? Could I just watch the last two episodes?
Yeah, you'd be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do that.
Yeah, if you just do it back to back, man, It's amazing how bad it's so bad.
Hold me to that. I'll try to do it before we record again. Okay.
Yeah, I would if we could find a way to do it together, I would do it. I would sit and watch just how it's so
Does
bad.
Amazon do that? They probably do that.
There's got to be like a watch together thing, right? Disney does that, don't they?
I mean, fuck, we could just parsec it.
Well, yeah, we could do that. Okay.
Cyberpunk.
The Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Yeah, that's like an anime, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's probably Netflix, I would assume.
They're shilling out a lot of money for that.
I'm just taking like The Witcher and CD Projekt. Like that's probably a Netflix thing.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, The Witcher anime is really good.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Aren't they coming out with like a TV show anime?
I'm
looking through this list. Yeah, Blood Origin.
Yeah.
Or no.
No, Blood Origin is the prequel. There is a Witcher. It's a kids show.
That's right.
There's a Witcher kids show.
I don't know why.
I don't know how.
That's like selling toy. That's like selling like a Call of Duty Lego set for 8 and up. It's just like what?
Right. Why does there have to be a Last of Us TV show?
I don't know, but they do have Pedro Pascal as
Joel. I mean
Joel. Yeah.
I
don't know. Like they've done stuff like this already. So like, is it?
Yeah.
And it's HBO, right? Like, isn't it? It'll have a budget behind it.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. I mean, and Zambies.
Untitled Knuckles series, a Tomb Raider anime, Pokemon live action series, The Witcher season 3. My wife still brings up The Witcher season 2 to me, like often.
Like that she liked it?
Oh, she loved it. She's just like,
really?
I just want more Witcher. She's
just really into Henry Cavill, or she like actually like it?
I think she just actually likes it, and she would legit tell me if she's just like a hard on for Henry Cavill. So I think like she will want to watch Blood Origin. She wants to watch The Witcher. She couldn't get into the movie,
the anime,
the anime movie. But that's fine. Assassin's Creed. I'm not sure why they're attempting that again.
There's a place that could be good, like an Ezio. Like just give me Ezio. Just
sure.
Give me like an Ezio in France, just doing some stuff.
Does it need the back and forth between?
I don't need no. Just
all right.
Just allude to it every now and again. Like I want the Matrix, but I don't want the stuff in the little ship in the sewer.
Sure.
I want the other stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
Like that's there's room for that to be something. What the hell is a Resident Evil? Mila Jovovich is like
that comes out
years
soon.
Old.
I'm pretty sure that comes out soon. I could be wrong on that. I did skip Arcane. Got picked up for second season. I may go back and finish that. That was really cool. The animation of that. You should watch like an episode of it. It's pretty. Castlevania, they did 4 seasons, really good. They set it up for a spinoff. Can't wait for that. Fallout, that's getting made to a TV show. Mass Effect, I mean, could be good if you put a budget behind it. This one caught me off guard. Captain Laserhawk, a Blood Dragon remix.
I don't know what that is.
I don't want to look like an idiot, so I'm going to pull it up. But I think it has to do with Far Cry. That's what I thought.
Oh, like Far Cry Blood Dragon?
Yeah.
I don't think I ever played that DLC. That was DLC for Far Cry 3?
3, yeah.
Okay.
And it was like a Cyberpunk style. And I played it a little bit, but I didn't finish it, but people really liked it. They thought it was a good bit of DLC for that game. Devil May Cry, Sonic Prime, Splinter Cell, Brother in Arms. That rounds up this article from IGN. Going over what all is coming out. So there's a lot of video game stuff. Probably most of it is going to not be great.
Yep.
I think the last great thing of video games I watched, I thought that Sonic movie was good.
Sonic movie's good.
I thought Castlevania was good. I'll say I thought Castlevania was great. I want a Fallout show to be cool. I don't know how different a Fallout or a Last of Us show would be. You know, like what's setting all these post-apocalyptic
It'd just be
shows
like The
apart?
Walking Dead. I mean, it would just be
Right.
this brutal, I think there's an attitude to Fallout and like that time period and like the technology
Mm-hmm.
that could be cool, with like the Pit Boy and like all that stuff. Like I think that stuff could be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Last of Us is just so generic.
Right.
It's more about like those characters and like that story.
Yeah, it's kind of like I liked the movie like I Am Legend. I kind of get a little
Right.
vibe of that,
Right.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. That's it. We've got video game release calendar to cover.
Mm-hmm.
What's releasing over the next couple weeks? We've got Elden Ring comes out tomorrow. I seen a pretty good tweet where somebody was like, the week after Horizon Zero Dawn released, one of the greatest video games of all time, Breath of the Wild released, and now Forbidden West comes out, and the week after, one of the best video games of all time, Elden Ring, is releasing. Which I've seen that tweet from so many people saying that Elden Ring might be the best video game of all time.
But you're not allowed to play it or like it.
I may not like it though. It may not be for me. Because I'm a...
Are you a cool dude?
I have no idea. Like, how do you take that? If you're into racing games, Grid Legends comes out today Friday as well. Majora's Mask is hitting the Switch for that extra bit of DLC plus or whatever to play those games. Steam Deck is launching. Interested in one?
Yes, but I won't buy one.
Yeah, I think I'm there.
It would be just what is the word?
Just a luxury, just a 100%,
like a luxury purchase, like a thing that I don't need, that it would be cool to have, that will sit on this desk and I'll never turn on.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm looking up here. Nothing else is really sticking out for the beginning of March. So we've got Far Changing Tides. That's coming to Game Pass, and I know that's gotten quite a bit of buzz.
Yep.
Mega Aquarium Freshwater Frenzy DLC, Little Orpheus, 35 millimeter Zombie Rollers, Babylon's Fall. I feel like I've heard of that.
I haven't.
Gran Turismo 7 launching March 4th.
Yeah.
On consoles we do not own. That maybe that is a little helpful right here. That's why we don't cover a lot of PlayStation stuff, because we just don't have access to that. Gunborg, Dark Matters, Music Racer Ultimate, Triangle Strategy. I played Triangle Strategy. I forgot to talk about this. Yeah.
Oh boy.
So they have a demo where you can play the first 3 chapters of Triangle Strategy, which is a Final Fantasy Tactics style game. I played a tactics style game last year called Fey Tactics that I really dug. I played the first fight of this and I uninstalled it and was like, nah.
If I had $1 for every time you came to me and said, Rich, I'm playing this really cool game, it's a Final Fantasy Tactics style game, I'd be able to buy like 5 Steam Decks. Because you do this all the time. I feel like you have.
And I know I'm talking to you about this, and it's just you're just wet farting the whole time I'm talking to you.
Like, here he goes. He's got one of these Final Fantasy Tactics game, and I'm just like, this is not going to work out the way you want it to. But I'm gonna let you go ahead.
Yeah.
It's what you need to do.
Hey, I had a great
And
time with Faye. Faye Tactics was fun as shit. So this is getting buzz because it's the Octopath Traveler
right.
studio.
Yep.
Rich, the the writing and voice acting in this game was so bad. I uninstalled it after the first fight. I can't sit. I know I would not want to sit and listen to a video game that talks like that. It was so bad. It's going to hurt that game tremendously.
Did you ever beat Scarlet Nexus?
No.
No, never got back to it.
No. I played that game for probably 12, 15 hours and really liked it. And it was just kind of like I got a feel of it and I was good.
Did you watch the Street Fighter 6
No.
teaser trailer?
No, I seen the beefy feet. But I didn't watch
Dude, so it like you're gonna have to go and watch it, but it's like 20 seconds long. It just shows Ryu.
Okay,
And
here, let me pull it up.
He be thick. He be thick. With the 2 C's on the end.
All right, here we go. Oh, look at that! It's going to use the Resident Evil game engine.
Oh wow. Okay.
Okay, here we go. It's 40 seconds long.
We're gonna be able to cut Ryu's hand off.
All right.
Okay, here we go. Yep. There's the muscles. There he is. There's up.
This is feeding through the stream, but it's not going to be on the recording. Sorry about that.
At Marcus Phoenix or
you ready?
up.
Whoa. I don't know who this is.
I don't know who that is either. I legit thought that was Marcus Phoenix.
Street Fighter 6.
Weird.
Wait a minute. Where'd his feet? Did I look away? Oh, there it is.
The feet. So pause on the feet. He needs bigger sandals, man. Like go
Hold
back.
on.
Like his toes, his little toesies are like on
His
the
little
edge,
pootsies.
man. They're not big enough. Those sandals are not big enough. You got them sausages.
Look, hey animator, what'd you do today? Dude, I made this foot so good. They're gonna put it in the trailer.
So fast forward just a little bit, like where it has him standing in front of the camera, like right there. Like tell me you do, like when he looks up, that's not Marcus Phoenix.
Oh, I know. Yeah, that's like where the where people are like, women body goals are shameful for marketing, and it's just like, look at this, look what we have to compete with.
Look at me. What are you talking about? I'm gonna go crush
I'll
a bag
never
of
do
Doritos
this.
after we get done with this. Like, what the hell?
He
are we
definitely
talking about?
walked out of that Gears of War universe, though. Like,
Yes.
like give him a chainsaw gun.
I also heard there's a little bit of some. I don't know how to say this, but some genitalia maybe in this trailer here.
No,
prominent.
where?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me see.
No, it cuts. It's later. It cuts from like looking up at Ryu. So keep going.
Oh,
right there. Yeah, there's a little bulge happening.
really? Hold on.
In Ryu's gi. That is a gi, right?
Yeah,
there's
sure.
Some.
Oh my. No,
Yep,
it doesn't.
yeah,
it doesn't like my zoom.
bigger.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Well, sure.
yeah. So there was a little like Lady Dimitrescu vibe.
Well, hey,
here.
good for him. You know.
Hey man, he's got to get his fireball.
Hey, do you have any interest in this Dawn of Ragnarok DLC?
No.
All right.
I'm sold off Assassin's Creed games until they decide to make something different.
Oh, good. Distance World 2, Submerge, Time Loaders, Workshop Simulator. What the hell is Workshop Simulator? No idea.
Next grab bag, I'm going to find one of these simulator games.
Okay.
We're going to play one of these simulator games.
All right. Cool. Let's do it.
This. Yeah.
Yeah, last grab bag we played a little bit of Cyberpunk, and I was getting a little nervous because when you start the game it shows nudity, and so after the stream I was like, I gotta look this up. Like, did we break anything? Turns out they are okay with it. They say as long as you don't like focus in on, like, I'm not just sitting ogling or
Right.
the breasts or whatever. Like, we could have sat there and completely created our character, but as long as we don't over sexualize the content,
Mm,
then they're fine with it. So many people were streaming that game, of course, like you're gonna run
right.
into it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but as long as you don't make it a goal to just constantly like be doing that kind of stuff, then they don't care, which is cool. That's fine.
Yes.
I think that's perfectly acceptable.
Yes. True that.
Okay, Rich, you got anything else?
No, I don't. No.
Well, thank you all so much for listening to us tonight. If you want to check out any of our other episodes, you can find those over at bitpunch.tech. And if you want to send us an email, you can send that to emails@bitpunch.tech. You can follow us here on Twitch at BitPunch. You can follow us on Twitter at BitPunch. You can check out our archive streams at on YouTube at /user/BitPunch. Then you can check out our newsletter at bitpunch.substack.com. All of these links are accessible from bitpunch.tech. And that is going to do it for us. Sounds like we're going to be doing a grab bag stream on Sunday. Not sure what our full playthrough is going to be of next. I do have a couple ideas. We'll kick our way, and then I'll kick your way, and then as soon as we make that decision, we'll start streaming our next full playthrough. Our last one, we finished up Resident Evil 8, and that was really fun. We did what else have we done? We did a Firewatch. We did Inscription. We've had some good fun ones that we've played together.
Axiom Verge.
Axiom Verge, that was okay. RE7 was fun.
Every Yakuza.
Yeah, all the Yakuzas, those were all a
Most
blasty
of the
blast
most
to
of the
play.
Final Fantasies.
Yeah.
Lost Planet. Lost
Lost Planet?
Outer Worlds. Outer Worlds.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Some
There's an Outer Worlds
Prey.
right there. Some Prey.
Yeah.
Not all Prey.
So yeah, we will get back to that at some point. So we just got to figure out what we're gonna do next, and then yeah, grab bag as usual on Sundays, and then podcast every other week. Thanks again. Thank you, Rich.
Thank you.
You all have a good night. Thanks for listening. We will be back. Bye.